Hi all, because my video on the build the Millennium Falcon was a bit late last month, i.e. I only finished it about 3 days ago, this month's parts have just arrived, so it's only going to be a few days between episodes this time. So we've got 4 more to do. This is obviously the mesh that goes around the engine with the diffuser by the look of it, so that will make the engine lights interesting. That is rather unmistakably one of the escape pods on the side. Haven't got a clue and haven't got a clue. So let's get on and see what we're doing. But roll on the Falcon. It's so where are we up to now? We're 91. So 92. So yeah, just 8 more after this lot and we're done. Can't believe it. And then we can start the real. I know some guys have gone off and done all the painting already as they're going, but I'm going to do mine at the end and the weathering and everything. So looking forward to that. Anyway, let's make a start. Okay, so here we go with issue 89. Got some very nondescript parts here. I don't know. That could possibly be. Oh, let's have a guess. I don't know. Something to do with the way the interior of the hold is supported, maybe? I'm not sure. Anyway, let's have a look. Let's see what we got. I don't know if you guys have found out, but when you're going through this, I've been through spells where I've lost a little bit of interest and then sort of gained it again and lost it again and gained it a bit, because this has been a 2-year thing. But right now I'm getting quite interested and quite looking forward to coming to the end and starting the painting. One of the guys, actually, one of you guys out there dropped me a little note to say that I think in issue 91 we've got a decision to make whether it's going to be wall mounted or standing on its landing gear. I'm thinking landing gear at the moment. Don't know what you guys are going to do, but yeah, I think we're going to have to make that decision soon. Anyway, I'm going to start having a little read up and see what we're doing. Shall we have a little peek? Right, yes, it's all to do with the okay, interesting. We can't put glass in if there's still paint to do. Haha. Okay. Oh, that was a good guess. I was guessing it might be something to do with the way the insides are supported. Cool. Right then, I'm going to make a start. I'll see you shortly. Okay, so we've really got a decision to make here, and that is, you may remember I wasn't too pleased with the glazing, because I said it looked very thick and I didn't like the way it just made it look like a toy. Now the decision we have to make is, it looks like the gun turret itself, the control section, is glued in, so that's why we have to make the decision now. Now that to me looks a bit toy-like and a bit thick, and I don't really like it. Now the choice we have is this. Obviously there would be glass, it would be glazed, otherwise they'd all die. Now in the original films, the miniature that was used by ILM had no glazing in it, and the reason they did that was because they didn't want any unwanted reflections on camera, because all the studio lights tend to reflect in the glass and kind of gives the game away. You know, you often see it in films. You know, you can see someone in sunglasses, for example, you can see the lights reflecting off the lenses, just unwanted reflections that kind of give the game away. So, and it even tells you in the magazine here, this is what happened. ILM didn't fit any glass for that very reason, and you can see in these photographs just how much reflection you get off them. Now I don't mind that, because I know glass reflects, and if there was going to be glazing in the, you know, if this were a real ship, there would be glazing, and that will reflect. So I'm a bit 50-50 on that. What I don't like though is the way it's so thick, it tends to make it look a little toy-like. So that's sort of what we have, and what I don't like is the way you get the extra glass around the frame. That's what I think spoils it. It's not so much that the glass is there, it's that it's so thick. So that's with it in. Let's have a look at it with it out. There we go. So that's the same view with no glass. If I can get to it. Actually, let's put this in. So that's what it would be. That's what it would be like, and obviously we're going to see some lights in there as well. So it's a tricky one, that. I'm not altogether sure which way to go on that. I might see if we can avoid making the choice now and do it later. The bottom one's not so much of an issue because, let's face it, I'm going to have this probably mounted on its feet and do a little diorama for it, so no one's ever going to see up in there. But we will need to make that choice for the top deck, or for the upper hull, and for the cockpit in particular. I'm hovering more towards putting no glazing in at all at the moment, but that's a choice that each and every one of us is going to have to make for ourselves. So there's no right or wrong. I mean, the best option, I guess, would be to get some very thin clear styrene and make our own glazing for it and do a better job than D'Agostini did, but it's a bit involved. I'm not sure how well that's going to go, so I think I'm going to put that onto one side for a minute. I'm just going to see what else we can do and see if we can avoid making that decision for now. Right, I've got a plan. My plan is this. He says it might change, but this is the current plan. This section is still removable even after we've got some more of the internals in. So I know you got these screws around here, and then that whole thing drops away. So for the time being, I'm just not going to glue it, and I'm going to assume we can get back in there later. That's the plan. If anyone has a better one, let me know, but that's the plan for the time being. This, incidentally, is what it'll look like when we've got the light on in there. So you can see a bit more details. A bit bright, actually. But yeah, that's what it's going to look like when you can see inside. I'm just going to pop the glass in one last time, and let's have a look and see what it looks like lit with the glass in, and the glazing in. What do you think? Very much in two minds now. Okay, this is just dry fitted at the moment, none of it's glued in yet, but we've got our corridors in place so we can see how they're gonna fit. There's just some little mounts underneath that we screw to the bottom of the hole in the corridors. In fact, you can just see them there if we zoom into those there, like a pair of stilts. And they just connect up to the bottom. Incidentally, on the gun turret, I've just taped it in place for now. I'm going to defer that decision for a little while, so it's just taped in place so it doesn't come to any harm. At the moment the glazing is in, but it's not glued, so I can still change my mind. I'm going to leave that option open as long as possible. So now moving on, there's these little metal supports which are going to help support the top or the upper hull, and I think they're just going to clip onto the metalwork, so I'm going to fit those now. Okay, so coming to the end of stage or issue 89, the last thing I've just done is put these two metal uprights in, which are going to help hold the upper hull. We've got our little light on down inside the gun turret, as we can see up in there. As I say, still not sure about the final decision with the glazing, but that's that done. These aren't glued in, but they're sort of in place, so we know that it all fits. So that's the hold, the corridors, and then there's another little corridor that's going to go in from here to the gun bay, but that doesn't go in just yet. And then you saw the supplemental video I did on the back end to improve the spacing on those LEDs, which I think looks a lot better now. So that's it, end of issue 89, I think I said it was. So it's really starting to come on now. Anyway, that's it for now. Let's crack on with the next issue. Okay, so we're up to issue number 90. We're switching, by the look of it, from the lower hull back to the detailing the mandibles. So I've got those out ready and just going to make a start with that. It looks like it's going to be fairly straightforward, just adding details like on any model. So this bit looks fairly self-explanatory, and I doubt I'll need to point out too much to you. So I'll make a start, but I'll let you know if there's any little snags or any issues or any tips that could save you a problem later. But I expect this is going to be fairly simple, this one. Okay, that completes the last of the detail on the starboard mandible. It's all starting to look very Star Warsy now, isn't it, with lots of bits everywhere. So yeah, that's it. Starboard mandible, according to this anyway, is complete to that stage. And that is the end of stage 90 or issue 90. So looking ahead to 91, that looks to me very much like the diffuser lens for the engine. So that's the next thing. That rings a bell. I'll catch up with you in a minute. Okay, here we go, issue number 91. That's definitely part of the engine. Not sure which way around it's going to go, mind you. Probably that way, so that you get the pattern. That would be my guess, but I could be wrong. So let's have a look at the instructions and see what it says. It's starting to feel a bit strange, this being in the last 10. So few to go. Right then, okay, yeah. So I'm assuming because of the way it's already bent, yeah. Peel off the protective mask from the film strip, yeah. So it's going that way. So with the green bit inside, basically. Oh, we're onto some painting and masking tips. Okay. Oh, and we're fitting the mandibles. My goodness. Cool. Right. See you shortly. Okay, so that's the piece in question fitted, the diffuser, and then that's what it looks like from the outside. Not too bad. Let's turn the big light off and get a better idea what that looks like. Obviously there's no upper hull in place at the moment, but yeah, that's not too bad, is it? Yeah, that's not too bad at all, and there's no worry at all now about that gap in the middle that I was concerned. Now we've respaced those LEDs, you can't tell the gap at all. So yeah, not bad, quite pleased. So yeah, anyway, let's move on because we're getting to the interesting stuff now. Okay, crikey, this thing's actually starting to look like the Millennium Falcon, you know, folks. So we've got the engine working at the back nicely. I've taken it off the plastic base, and I've just put the bolts in at the moment, as it says in the instructions, to sort of support it when fitting the mandibles, which are now on and working. I've still got to do the little red lights that I want to add myself, but look at that. It really is starting to look like the Falcon. Let's turn the lights out and see what it looks like. So, nice powerful engine at the back. Headlights at the front, which are looking pretty cool. And then if we look up inside, you can see that there's some light down there coming down from the gun turret. So yeah, let's get some lights back on. Now I'm probably going to have to start making a decision soon on other stuff, i.e. I want to do the little red lights on the bottom, so not sure, but I've got a sneaky feeling I'm going to have to start thinking about those quite soon now. I don't know about the rest of you, I don't know if I've thrown it away, but I seem to have lost one of the supports. I've only got one support at the moment, which is a bit of a shame, so I don't want it to twist. I've got a bit of an issue there. I'm going to have to find something to prop that second mandible up, the mandible up, until I can get the top on. But yeah, it needs some support at the moment. Well, actually, let's have a look. I don't know if I take that one out. Presumably, yeah, they're both pretty much the same. Cool. Okay. Let's see what we're doing next. Just a little note, I must have missed this, but I'm going to mention it just in case I didn't miss it, and they have in the magazine or in the instructions, but I'm sure it's probably my mistake. But I hadn't fitted those two pieces on the other mandible while we were doing this one. Didn't get to do these ones, so I must have missed that somehow. Looks like there's also some pieces missing up front as well, so although according to that, yeah, those holes are still not being used there, so sometimes I think I've missed a bit and other times I think they've missed a bit, and I'm not altogether sure. But anyway, we now have pretty much that, so we're really coming on now. So that brings us to the end of stage 91. So it looks like the next bit is to do one of the escape modules or escape pods. I've put the little clips in, so we just started to tidy the wiring a little bit. That'll be tidier later on when I've made my decision on whether to use the glazing or not, but I just want to think about that some more before I actually glue that all up. But really and truly, I'm quite impressed at the moment. So we've got our lights in there, we've got our engine lit, and we've got our front spotlights lit as well. So yeah, and my friend's cat's come to see me. Hello Inky, this is Inky. You've met him before in one of the other videos. How are you today, Inky? You alright? Hey? Yeah, you are. You're very talkative. He comes round to me sometimes, and well, she comes over to me and we watch movies or whatever, or go for walks, and Inky has decided that he is very much needs to be a part of the whole experience. So yeah, he's a very, very clever boy, aren't you, Inky? Hey, you gonna say hello to everybody? Say hello. No, a bit louder, Inky. Bit louder. Okay, that'll do. He's a bit shy. Anyway, I thought I'd let you see him because he brightens people's days. He certainly brightens my day, don't you? Hey, you're a good boy. Oh, there's lots of rumbly purring going on now. Hey, because he's just had a little feed. You a good boy? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Anyway, right then, back to work. Okay, and this is the last of the 4 pieces I've got at the moment. Oh, I'm throwing the glue around. That's not good. That's never good. Right, so yeah, so this is issue number 92. It looks like we're doing stuff with the escape pod. So let's have a look and see what we're doing. Okay, one thing I've just learned is once we glue the hold and the corridors in place, there's no way to get this back out again. So this will, folks, have to be glued at this stage. So a decision will need to be made as to whether you're going to have the glazing in or not. I've chosen to leave it in on the bottom one. It's not going to be seen that often, so I still have to make the decision for the top, but for the bottom one I have left it in. You can probably see right in and through, I don't know, so the glazing is in place, but yeah, once these are glued in, you can't get this out anymore, so it's now or never. Okay, so this is where we are at the end of issue 92. So we've got an extension cable now on the battery box, so that's now going to fit back to, I think, round the front where it was before. And there is a note here to remind us to disconnect that before we fit the top, which will be in the next issue by the look of it. Yeah, suddenly it's really looking like it's getting somewhere. So that's it for today. I'm going to put all these videos together and get them up on the internet for you. That's it for now. I hope it's been helpful, and I'll see you next time.